Hello and welcome back to Advanced Hwoarang Lessons. Today we gotta compare two moves, just like how we've compared DF1 and DF1 plus 2, 4-3, 4F4, RFF down back 3, and RFF back 4. This time we gotta cover something that's very connected to Left Flamingo. I'm talking about LFS forward 3 and CD3. These two moves are very similar. Their frame data is pretty much identical, plus 4 each. It's just a question of what's different between the two and which move you probably want to press more. Rolls intro. So let's start with the move Hwoarang inherited from his master, the Rocket. Flamingo Rocket is what it's called. It's an, again, 19 frame mid that's plus 4 on block. And of course, you already know, when this move goes on counter hit, it's gonna hurt a lot. And this is typically your B&B for it. You're always gonna be hitting 70 damage. Or 71 damage, and that's pretty good damage. Not unless you're able to do the other one, which is where you stand switch into right, and then you just JFSR B&B the whole way, and you're 3 points away from 80. So those are your two combo options most of the time. I like the first one where you whiff, because you get real full control of the combo. Of course, if you are panicking and you weren't ready, this is fine as well. It will work for as long as you're, again, pushing it towards the wall. So that's pretty much the move. When you get it knocked down, you can chase your opponent. I really mean it when you can chase your opponent. You Flamingo cancel, not just one Flamingo cancel, you Flamingo cancel twice. And then you can rocket them again. Like, if they press a button, let's record that here just to show it to you. They're going to get hit. So, rocket, 1, 2, rocket. So I'm gonna let myself... Oh wait, don't get counter hit. I'm gonna let myself get hit here. I'm gonna mash. Oh. That was not mash, that was tech roll. I lost? That can't be, the Forbidden Scrolls. Alright, so I have it wrong. What I mean by chase is that you can lock them in a different way. Like this, I believe. Let yourself get hit. There you go. You can lock them in that sense. Of course, that's using a Power Crush. If they just block it, you're negative 12. So you can always just do LFS DF3, and if they do the low here, I think it should low crush. Yeah, there you go. It did low crush. But if you do LFS DF3, you're going to lose. So it's like, how many Flamingo cancels you want to do first before you do your Oki? So you can always just record it and then see like how the options work out, because I think it's a little bit harder to record that with your opponent here. Or it is probably possible. Let's say we bring it to wake up mid kick. We turn this off. 2 cancels. Yeah, I think you can do it here. So, do you want 1 cancel? That way you can get that? Or do you want 2 cancels? That way you can get this. To play around with it, that's pretty much like the Oki when you get it to connect on hit. However, with every Hwoarang option, we're not concerned with the counter hit. We're not concerned with the hit. We are concerned with the favorite, the block. Yes. What can you do with this plus 4? Because, again, these are your options that you're always going to be contending with. It's not the opponent pressing a button, it's the opponent moving. Because a plus 4, naturally, they're going to be losing out if you press LFS 1. 13 frame high, minus that by 4, you're going to be even faster than a regular jab. So let's start with backdash. What can you do to utilize plus 4 with LFS forward 3? So can you use LFS 1? Yes. Because if they backdash and they attempt to whiff punish this, you're fine. You don't believe me? Okay, again, we're gonna bring back record action here into a jab, hold back. You're gonna try to whiff punish this. Oh wait, with a backdash. I pressed DF2 immediately there. No. That's on DF2. No, that's back 3. So for the most part, Hwoarang will usually be safe. This is like your safety option. Like if you don't want to continue pressure and you just want to maintain the space. Because again, this is like range 1 kind of stuff when you reset here. So it's okay after they do the backdash. Alright, what's another option you can do? You can keep them in. Really keep them in. You see how you maintain the distance on LFS forward 3 on each backdash? Well, after a certain amount of backdashes, you're going to lose it. But for the second or third LFS forward 3, before you start canceling and thinking about it, or reset back into this and then maybe do something like that, you can like really prevent them from like running away. And if they backdash into a button, all the more they're gonna get a counter hit launch, and you know how much damage they're getting off that. Another one you can do is like DF3. So of course you can choose to cancel this or not, and you can even like delay it, and this will catch backdash nicely. Is there another mid in Flamingo that you can use? Well, not really. Well, not for backdash. So if you do LFS back 4, your counter hit launcher, it will not catch backdash. So you will lose here. Like if they backdash into a whiff punish, you're clearly gonna lose. But the low that will always catch is combat low. This is the low you pair up with is LFS forward 3 because down 3-4 whiffs here. The space is too high on block. The pushback rather. So LFS down back 4, since it Hwoarang really goes in, this will prevent backdash. So you have like 3 things. You have a safety net high, you have a mid, and then if you have another mid, if they press a button, because he'll discourage them from it for as long as it's not low, and a low, an advancing low, that'll put you at +4. Pretty good stuff. Now, that's for backdash. Now, what happens if they step? Your LFS forward 3 is already nullified at this point. This move, let me make this clear. It's not like Bex. Bex in Tag 2 tracked everywhere, even if it wasn't homing. It was pretty much 99% homing. Hwoarang's version of the Flamingo Rocket, 0% homing. Not even 1%, 0%. I've never seen this move track in my life. So against sidestep left, you're going to lose. But we were talking about another move earlier that loses against backdash, right? And that's where this move comes in. If the opponent is stepping left after LFS forward 3 on block, that's when you hit them with LFS back 4. And if they press a button while they were stepping, great. That's going to be a counter hit launch. The other one that also does lose is LFS 1. But you're a lot safer here if I remember correctly. So you're going to record that. And I'm going to attempt to step and punish towards the left. Yep. So be a little aware of it, because they can get a launch punish off you if they're really on point versus LFS forward 3 to LFS 1. So compared to the backdash, like where you're really safe, not unless their DF2 is really long, let's say Josie or Leo, yeah, you'll lose here. Of course, Hwoarang, that was up close. But on the sidestep, all the more like you're probably gonna eat that. But more often than not, a smaller whiff punish will hit. So that's what you have to watch out for when you're attempting to stay safe with LFS 1. And then down back 4, that still catches. It's great. Because on SSR, this is when DF3 comes into play. So if they're stepping towards the right, LFS DF3. If they're stepping towards the left, LFS back 4. Because LFS back 4 whiffs versus SSR. And again, so does LFS forward 3 because this move doesn't track anywhere. But it will get paired up with LFS down back 4. Great. So now you have a low and a mid to play around with. And if your opponent's kind of second guessing themselves, you can just like LFS 1, or you can hit them with the cancel, and that will apply for like both sidestep left and sidestep right, including like even the sidewalks. I'll just show it out here just to demonstrate how these options work. So again, this is sidestep left, sidewalk left, it's still gonna win. If you cancel to like, you got a double cancel to like potentially realign, but even then, I guess there's no hope there. So cancel once and then that's it. And of course, down back 4 will catch. And sidewalk right, your best friend, DF3, and down back 4. Of course, again, your LFS 1, not gonna hit anywhere, and your LFS forward 3, not gonna hit anywhere. That's pretty much your options and like what you're supposed to do if they're sidestepping left, sidestepping right, backdashing. So you're gonna be playing around with those mids a lot, and pretty much a lot of these options that I just mentioned, they're carbon copied over to the move that I just pressed, CD3. So let's go now to CD3, because that's pretty much everything about LFS forward 3 at the moment. So CD3 is faster by 1 frame. Or rather, it's 18 to 19 as you can see it in the frame data overlay, but more or less 18. So 18 frames knockdown. This is also a wall bounce. If we had a wall, we'll get a wall stage later, but it's gonna bounce and you're gonna get a lot of damage off it. And of course, on block, this is +4, and it does leave you in LFS. Same as, what do you call this? LFS forward 3, Flamingo Rocket. This move is named as Phalanx. I don't know if that name fits, but I guess it works. So here, if you've noticed, you're closer, way closer to your opponent on block compared to LFS forward 3. You can see like there's a distance you kind of like maintain compared to CD3. So again, the options I said were a legitimate carbon copy. So we're gonna bring back backdash and stand guard, and this time LFS 1 actually will catch backdash, but But, big but, you still will have a problem versus the sidestep. So then they can do an evasive move there. They should be able to step. There you go. You can step into a punish. So that's not... You're pretty much not avoiding that. But if they are backdashing, you can safely reset into +5 at LFF. Another thing you can do is now this will not lose on against backdash. So now you can really check them if they're pressing a button if you want to counter hit launch. And if you wanted to go through armor, you can always just do that. DF3, no distance. And of course, you can just reset back into LFS forward 3, and then now you move back to the LFS forward 3 situations. And instead of doing LFS down back 4, you get the opportunity here to LFS down 3-4 now. So you like a better low for like more pressure because you're like really, really close to them. And this is now the de facto low in this situation because it does win against steps. So again, as always, sidestep left, LFS back 4 because the rocket will still whiff, DF3 will still whiff, and LFS 1 has a tendency to win and sometimes none. More often than not, none, so don't rely on that. But down 3-4 hits. Down 3-4 hits. So now it's down 3-4 and LFS back 4. And conversely, for sidestep right, that means it's going to become LFS DF3 after CD3 and down 3-4 as well in Left Flamingo. Because on sidewalks, it still wins. Sidewalk left, again, LFS back 4. And then if I do CD3 into down 3-4, it still hits. But if you see CD3 into down back 4, this is why this is not the de facto low you're using in CD3 situation compared to LFS forward 3s. So here, even down 3-4 will still hit, and DF3 should typically connect. Typically. So you watch out for like really strong movement options from your opponent. Because again, this is like your main way to like keep the opponent in check if they SSR. Because you don't have any other option aside from like LFS down 3-4. That's supposed to be like the pairing in tandem. So if it's not working or like the opponent's movement's too good, you may have to like potentially drop the situation altogether. Same thing with LFS forward 3. Like you have to like stop using the move because you're losing out more often than not. Of course, you can stand switch to like get better tracking or like a better tracking move. But at that point, you spent way too many frames and there's an opportunity for like your opponent to like really, really punish you for it. So now we're going to transfer over to walled stage because we did not show the combo on CD3, and CD3's combo has been pretty consistent like in terms of wall bounces, because like for other characters it's like it depends on how far you are from the wall bounce. So looking for a consistent route that you didn't really have to think about was really important for everyone in the cast. And luckily for Hwoarang, it legitimately does not matter how far you do the wall bounce. If you do it really, really close, all you gotta do is Firestorm left. That's pretty much it. You Firestorm left, you get the wall, you get the B&B, it's all good. And you pan out to like 70 damage. And that's not even including like doing it off SS3. And you don't believe me? Look, I'm gonna do it from a little bit farther, like right around here. CD3, just hold forward. I don't have to think about it. I legit don't have to think about it. It's only when you like really, really go to like max range wall bounce. That's when you like do something a little bit more optimal. That's not optimal, but you get my point. Like you kind of like change your option around because you have more space to do something. But for the most part, if you don't know, again, LFS F+3 into basic B&B, you're fine. So that's perfect. So that's comparing both, again, LFS forward 3 and CD3. One's a counter hit launcher and the other one's a wall bounce. Because CD3, in previous seasons, this used to be a counter hit launcher. It crumple stunned and you kind of just did the JFSR B&B or down 3-4. But now you don't do that, so it's only stuck in the Flamingo rocket. But these moves are very similar to each other in the sense that you can use them as like a combo ender. So if I bring this to the wall and we swap sides, if you want to like really push your opponent towards the wall, right? This is a basic combo. You can end it on a Flamingo rocket. Look how far you pushed your opponent towards the wall there. Now, it's not necessarily wall carry, but at least they're already there. And then all you gotta do is like run up and like try to close that gap. Same thing would apply if you try to end it on CD3. So if I do the Season 2 B&B for Hwoarang here. And if I don't want to end it on Flying Eagle, I can end it on CD3, and I get the same amount of distance the whole way. So these are combo ender tools. Aside from being like wall ender tools as well. Because, so we go back to the wall, right? Yeah, launch. You can end the combo on CD3, and of course the LFS 3 F4. If that isn't your sauce, you can always just do 3 forward into... Or, well, I mean, not 3 forward. LFS 3-3. That should work. Yeah, that's if they don't tech. You do LFS forward 3. But yeah, they like wall enders. And this is like really good for like shallow or like low wall splats. The CD3 will hit low. So you'll still get that damage, which is really good. And that's what you want to like squeeze out of. And if it's also low, you can still get the full thing. So at least compared to like DF1-3 into 3F4, that switch is like male hurt boxes only. At least this one is going to hit all sizes, depending, regardless of like the splat. For LFS forward 3, you already know it's connected to the regular B&B. But you can also just do it by itself and still get it. So wall enders and combo enders. This is what these two moves share. Now, what they don't share is, again, like the difference in terms of like spacing on pushback. Because I do have option recorded here. Or rather, I did have it earlier in Arctic Snowfall. So I'm going to have to record it again. But with LFS forward 3... you can kind of like control space more in the sense that because your opponent's going to be looking for a sidestep or a backdash, right? So if you LFS forward 3 and you wait, you can kind of like... Wait, not DF2. You can kind of get a whiff punish in that sense. So I backdash, I press a button. Wrong button to press. Backdash, D4. Oh, there you go, see? I got hit by the LFS 1. If I don't get hit by the LFS 1... Of course, this is a reach of an example because it's not necessarily gonna happen in match, but it's just like theory crafting. You can either get hit by the LFS 1 or you can get hit by the back 3. I'm trying to get hit by the back 3 here. Yeah, but you get my point, right? I'm not getting hit by the back 3, but if you space it out enough, you could get hit by the back 3. Actually, I want to show the back 3 for the most part. So I got a backdash because that's what the opponent's gonna do, right? They're gonna backdash. And then they're going to press a button. There you go. That's what then the back 3 can win. So you can kind of control space in that sense and waiting for a whiff punish and resetting back to LFS 1 because you can just whiff punish with like the rocket kick itself. So like if you're already waiting for it, you can just rocket kick and rocket kick again over and over. So rocket, they're waiting, 1, 2, and then boom. You know, that's the kind of stuff you can like do with LFS forward 3. And if you like even do it on block, I can show you a couple of other examples. So you LFS forward 3, you cancel, and now you reset, you're here back into LFS 1. And then you can like down T4 stand switch, then wait, and then now you're back safe, and then you're reset back into neutral. Or down T4, you push them towards the wall like this, and then now they have to like really think, and then you reset back to the LFS 3. You know, a bunch of like flamingo pressure. I'm gonna like link 2 videos to this, like in terms of like flamingo pressure and the 3-3 mix up, because that video should be released by the time this video is out. So you can really connect that with LFS forward 3, provided they're not stepping, of course, because the moment they're stepping, you gotta go to your LFS back 4 and your LFS DF3 or down 3-4, LFS down back 4, whichever way again the opponent is stepping. If they're not back dashing, most especially at the wall. Because that's what the opponent is going to do to avoid that situation. So that's kind of like what you can do with LFS forward 3. Like if you plan to like just throw it out there. That's kind of like its intended use in quotation marks. Because there are other ways you can do it. You can usually use it for like more offense and like really be in your opponent's face. And use it as a way to like push the opponent towards the wall. Because the best option for the opponent is really to just move, not challenge. Because CD3, conversely, it's not about controlling space, or rather, you can pull it out immediately because it's a CD move. So you can use it as a whiff punish if, like, let's say you DF1 into a sidestep and they press the button, you CD3, you had them at the wall, it's gonna bounce, boom, big damage. But for the most part, since you're not really after the space or like that kind of mind game, here you're after like a legitimate frame trap the moment you get CD3. So you're like really up close and personal. And it's one of your only mids in that transition you to Flamingo that's fast enough where you're at an advantage, because the other one that transitions you that not necessarily to Left Flamingo, but like to another stance is FF3, and that's like 22 frames. That's pretty slow. Your other one that just transitions you to Left Flamingo from left foot forward would be up 3, and that's a high, and that's even 20 frames. So here, it being 18, like 2 frames or even 1 frame below, if it comes out at 19, is better. And it's a mid. That's the important part. Aside from this, 14 frame high mid that's not plus, and it's only +2 on block. So this is the one where you have like clear advantages, and you can really like hit them with the pressure. And this can be applied in open, like the moment you do it in open, LFS 1 reset into like a down 3-4, or if you have them at the wall, that's when you can like connect it back to LFS forward 3, or you can just cancel out down 3-4 again, or connect it to the LFS 3 stuff, or reset into RFF. Like there's just a plethora of options that you're allowed to play with. But the last thing these two moves have in common is that if all else fails after LFS forward 3 on block, and you're not really sure, including for CD3, what your opponent is going to do, or you're having such a hard time narrowing down the probabilities of what your opponent will do, you can always just back 3. LFS back 3 rather. So you're not sure? LFS back 3. Not sure? LFS back 3. It's your end all be all. It will protect you for the most part. It's just that when it does get blocked, you're -12, so you're gonna lose out in that situation. But it does low crush, a little bit slow in terms of low crushing, but it is also armored, and it's gonna at least yield, I think, 20 or 30 damage, 23 damage. There you go. In that situation, so if you like 1, 2, 3, and you just back 3, because this also you already know it's a homing move as well, so it catches all the side steps. But more importantly, it does catch the back dashes. So if I LFS forward 3, that's caught. And if I do CD3, that's all the more it's caught, because you're like, again, you're right in front of their face. So these two moves, again, while similar, different purposes for each one. Of course, you can use LFS forward 3 just like CD3, and conversely, you could use CD3 like LFS forward 3. Like there, you could just like backdash. So the choice is yours. That's everything you know about these two moves. If you know something else, feel free to put it in the comments. I'd love to read it. I know a couple of players have been encouraging more players to do it. Because I don't have all the cheese. Man, it looks like a couple of you do. So again, that's the lesson for this stream, or this video, or the lesson for now. Again, next advanced Hwoarang lesson is going to be on the other side of the screen. Yeah, I've been Frontier, and I'll see you next time, later. Thank you for watching.